And I feel good already because I'm pretty sure that the title of my presentation, it's the biggest one on Tech Week, I think, because I have already charted it because it's large language models. It's a huge topic, and it's something that everyone is talking about. Earlier today, my friend Lucas talking about AI and the relationship about transformation in companies. And in this conversation, I will bring a little of what I think about this technology, what I think what will happen. My goal in this presentation is to make everyone understand what happens under the hoods of this kind of artificial intelligence without being too much technical, and put some important points of the way that we need to think. For me personally, I choose the revolutionizing word because it's a very particular thought, but I think that a lot of things will change. Okay, so there are a lot of things in this that has my view. So later in the discussion, we can make questions and talk about that. But to be honest, this is how I'm feeling right now. So in the old days, right, this is kind of a developers conference, and it's so 2022, right? It's not too much time ago. But why I'm saying that? Because we have a new thing happening. And this thing started to be known with this guy. If someone in here doesn't know what this logo is about, it's about ChatGPT, and it's something that will change the industry in the way that we know, at least in my point of view, again. Okay, so there is a lot of things that I will talk in here that has my perspective. In November 2022, they released a commercial, and not a commercial, but a free version for end users, and put it this kind of artificial intelligence to the public. And we heard a lot of hype on it, and suddenly everything became artificial intelligence, right? And wow, so nice. Now it's 2023. And after some months, I saw a lot of people that are not tech that run in not too much time said, well, another chatbot, right? So we have this a lot. And this will not be what will change the world in the way that we know. But this is what I want to show in this presentation, right? So ChatGPT is not only a chatbot, it has a lot of things going under the hoods, and we will understand a little more in this presentation. We'll talk about a lot, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of questions for everyone will be clear. And just to share one thing in here, this is 2023, right? So we have in here a demonstration of a new era of applications where users will be able to input phrases the way that we talk, and this will generate user interfaces for the end users, right? So this is the kind of transformation that probably we will see on the next years happening. And regarding the way that I started, one interesting thing about that is that everything is AI generated. So there are no photos, there are no people, there are no machines. Everything was generated by AI, as a lot of other things that I will show in here. So this is just a brief demonstration of the things that we will see on our daily basis. And really, I'm so hyped. Sorry for that. I will go back to the presentation. Just I need to introduce myself, right? I started in another way because this is a topic that I'd like to talk about. I'm Lucas Gertel. I'm a solution architect and a happy Avenue coder. I've been working here for the last 4 years. I'm involved in a lot of different projects. If you want to know about me a little more, you can scan my QR code in here. It will put you into my LinkedIn and we can chat. But I'm usually open to talk with everyone from AvenueCode or outside. It's very easy to keep touch with me. And here it's a company that I say that I am a happy Avenue coder because in this company I saw a lot of things going, a lot of initiatives going through, and it's really something that makes me feel very happy. And AI, it's another thing. And going back to, so this summary, right? I will talk about LLMs, the large language models, what are inside of that. So the core technologies and techniques that we have. I will not be technical. This presentation will just make a first glance for the non-technical people. But if you are technical and want to go deeper, this will be a good reference to understand some of the keywords to make a research, okay? And some of the ethical considerations, impacts, the transformative effects, and okay, not so short, right? But I will be quick, I swear. What I envision for the future, some of the takeaways, and a call to action. I have a demonstration that I wrote a little software here. I will share with everyone as well. And just a wrap to start. So LLM shaking the world, spitting fire like a lyrical twister, navigating the AI age, we break through Marshall Mathers, the mister. So this is a ChatGPT wrap about this presentation, the eminent version. Yeah. So I'm really on that, right? And so let's start about the topic. And I want to explain briefly what are large language models. And to be honest, it's just another type of AI. The thing is that they use natural language processing techniques to understand, generate, and manipulate human language. So what this means is that we have the feeling that we are talking to a human, right? So this is all about. There are a lot of different types of AIs, but large language models are a specific type of NLP, and make us feel like we are talking to humans, right? There will be a point in time that we will not know if we are talking to machines or we are talking to humans. And there are already some GPTs running, right? We heard a lot about GPT because this is the LLM name for the OpenAI company. But we have already BERT, for example, that is Google. We have Roberta, it's another one, and a lot of different models that are already running with this kind of build. And okay, so what does mean the significance of large language models? It's at least, again, everyone, this has a lot of my view. I'm 40 already. I saw some things happening on the IT, and I have some feelings about of what is coming. This is some of my thoughts and what I really think it will happen. I can be wrong, okay? As Lucas said earlier, it's hard to talk about futurology, but I really have a feeling that a lot of what I am talking about in here will happen, okay? But this is, it's not written true, okay? So it cannot happen. But I think that this will be a new era for humanity. This will make the way that we interact with computer change. It will change the way that we face productivity and efficiency. It will open a new era of innovation and creativity, and will also democratize access to knowledge and expertise. The way that we learn will change, and the way that we have access to knowledge will change. And as Lucas said before, if you were lucky to be in his presentation, AI itself is not a newborn, right? So it started on 50s with rule-based systems. And on 90s, we saw a huge improvement with the starting of natural language processing and deep learning and neural networks, right? So this started with IBM. We saw a lot of projects talking about that. We saw Watson, a supercomputer, talking with people and things like that. But a big change happened in 2017, right? That it was a new model called transformer models. This changed the way that we could train AI models, because nowadays we have things that are related to infrastructure, right? So compute power and things related to that transformer models change, right? So from the 5 years ago to today, we saw a lot of improvements that we didn't saw in the last 30 years, for example. And right now we are seeing the GPT-4, that it's what we call the state-of-the-art large language model based on the GPT architecture. I will talk a little more about that later. Okay, I don't want to be too much technical in here. So again, lightning fast on this one. We have the GPT-4 architecture, right? So this is based on a transformer architecture. As I say, it has a self-attention mechanism, what is called, and GPT means generative pre-trained model. So it's pre-trained on data, based on data. And transformer models was introduced, sorry for that, in 5 years ago by a guy called Vaswani. And it has attention mechanisms for handling long-range dependencies, right? And also it has things related to how we can use parallelizable computation that enables efficient training on large models. So before that, we had hardware limits, right? So nowadays we do not have so much hardware limits, and this changes a lot of things. Okay, another thing is what we call fine-tuning and pre-training. So this is usually related on training large-scale text data, what is called in AI unsupervised learning. Okay, but again, sorry for the tech part. I will just a little, but this is also important in this kind of model. And the fine-tuning is the ability to be adapted to adapt on pre-trained models to specific tasks. So we use what we call unsupervised learning and supervised learning in the same model. And the tokenization vectorization part is how we convert text in smaller units and process that and makes representation of that text in a mathematical way. I will show that. It is not technical. I'm pretty sure that everyone will understand, and it will be very clear at the end of the presentation. Okay, going forward. I did not play it here my time, so let's check how many time I have. And transfer learning. Okay, so in here we can leverage knowledge learned from one task to another, and we'll be able to improve domain on a related task or a specific domain. And going forward about the AI itself, right, and the large language models. There are things related to ethical considerations and possible risks. Again, I'm being repetitive here. Lucas talked about this earlier, but we do not know yet how will companies behave, right? Because we have biases in data training. The data where the models are trained usually are owned by companies, and this can lead to misinformation and manipulation of data. right? So if the data is created by someone who want to give an answer, the AI will give that answer, right? So if we take that in consideration, this is a huge risk. It's something that we need to worry about, because the owner of the data will put the data the way that he wants, and the tool will answer the way that he wants. And we will see that in the demonstration that I will make later. So this is related to how easy it will be to spread misinformation, right? So it will be very easy to malicious users. So this is something that we have to think about. Nowadays, I'm not sure if everyone listen about deepfake. So deepfake is already popular. It's using AI to generate a video with data that is not true. So we can say, for example, that I can create a video of Obama talking, and it's not Obama, but it seems to be Obama. And this is something that we need to be worried about. The privacy concerns, right? So there are things when we are interacting with this kind of tool. So for example, ChatGPT, the open ChatGPT, when we input data in there, this data is memorized, right? So if we put sensitive data in that, probably that data will be used to train new data inside the model. And this could lead to an erosion of privacy rights, right? So if you are using ChatGPT, never ever put a sensitive data inside the open chat that we are using nowadays, right? So, just a second. Okay. Never add this kind of information, because it will be used. There are privacy related things when you are using APIs. I will not talk about that in here, but as daily basis, we are using tools that are open, right? That we can use without paying. And this is an important topic. So if you are a developer, for example, never ever put private keys or passwords or things like that inside the chat, because those information will be used to be trained later. There are things, again, related to the economy, right, and employment disruption. This is the thing that probably will change a lot, because the automation of tasks could result in job displacement, right? And in increased income inequality. This is something that can happen. And we need to find a way to ensure that it will happen a transition for workers affected by AI advances. And this is already happening in some sectors, right? So if you go to a McDonald's, for example, you will find there are not too much people working in there, right? Getting what you want to eat. And this is not using AI, but AI will put velocity on that. And this is something that we need to figure on how to deal with. And there are also mitigation strategies that probably the companies will have to talk about. There are related, for example, the bias mitigation, right? And the models, the safety testing and transparency and public engagement and open communication and everything that are related to the limitations of AI and how this can share the information. But regarding that, also an important thing, it's the impact on industries and sectors. I think, again, this is, I want to be intensive here, okay? The revolution will be massive. Everything we know will be impacted. So, healthcare. Large language models can analyze medical records, lab results, imaging data for accurate diagnosis. So last week I saw an image that large language model detected a a cancer in a baby 10 years before it really happened. And this is something that I really believe that it will happen on the next years, right? And so this is just what can happen in healthcare. In education, in healthcare, again, so for example, going back, I have some examples in here. We will be able to just to talk about drug discovery, right? So AI-driven analysis of molecular structures and simulations, for sure, it will help us for faster drug development. Things related to telemedicine, so virtual health assistance for remote consultations and personalized care, it will change again with this kind of artificial intelligence. On the education part, we'll see that we'll need adaptive learning platforms that cater to individual student needs and abilities. So the way that we learn today is the same way as 400 years ago, and I think AI will change that. Regarding to tutoring, for example, AI-powered tutors for personalized feedback and support will born, right? We'll be able to see adaptive curriculums, so AI-generated curriculums that adjust based on student performance and learning goals, for example. This is something that I believe it will happen. Regarding business, so I think we'll see a streamline on business process and a lot of increased operational efficiency. Regarding, for example, on the customer service part, a lot of AI chatbots for improved customer experience, right, and reduced response time. Usually this is a thing that companies worry us about. Regarding data, it's something that we talk a lot. So we'll see a lot of things related to predictive analysis and decision-making support for companies. We will see in the creative industries, for example, this is the one that I think the things will happen faster. So AI-generated content for marketing, journalists, entertainment, right? So copywriting, everything that is related to that, LLM will change the way that we are used to do. I'm not saying that it will replace people, okay? This is an important thing, but I think it will change the way that we are used to. In design, for example, I showed before, right? So we will have AI-assisted graphic designers and website layouts and user experience things. We'll have assistants to generate content, to automate recommendations, for example, right? But there are negative implications, right? Because automation may displace human workers, as we see already in some sectors, and it can devaluate the human creativity. So those are points that I want to put in here in the presentation as well. Okay, so, and the way I see it, the world's already changing. And I really think that we will have to change too. So we see that AI-driven productivity gains and innovation will boost a lot of things related to GDP and will help us automate tasks and optimize leading and increase efficiency. So this will directly impact the global economic, right? The job markets, the structure, right? So for me, it will have a redistribution of wealth, because the AI advancements may result in a shift of the distribution of income and wealth on the world, that the way you think. Okay, so this is a thing that, it's my opinion based on my study and the things that I'm seeing, but again, I can be wrong on that, but I really think that at least some part of the things that I'm seeing here will happen. And regarding the AI and LLMs, probably this will happen because this has the interest of the companies that use and create AI, right? So we'll see the next generation of AI models. This is the multimodal data. In fact, GPT-4 has already a multimodal data. It's not released for public. What I mean for multimodal data is that it can understand not only text, but also images and other kind of data. So we can, for example, input an image on the tool, and the tool will be able to say what is happening on that image. So an example I didn't add in here in the presentation where we have a kid that dropped from the bike, and the guy asks for the AI, what happened? Why the kid is crying? And the AI answer, because he fell off the bike. So this is the kind of the things that AI will be able to do. We'll see a lot of, for example, integration with robotics and IoT, AI-driven innovation and entrepreneurship, social adoptions, AI advancements, and a lot of different trends and research directions. So this is the things that I really think it will happen because it involve the companies itself, and they will probably not stop, right? So Microsoft is involved, Google is involved. We have a lot of big companies investing on this kind of topic. And in here, as a coder, right? I'm a coder as well. I'm seeing a lot of different things starting to happen regarding on the way that we code, on the way that we are used to create things. And we see already, for example, we have GitHub Copilot, right? That generates code. And for me, I do not see that as a threat. I see that that's something that will help me to be more productive, to make less hours, and to be able to focus on the things that are more important for the business, for example. So for me, if you can beat them, join them, right? So we have to embrace the opportunities. We'll see a lot of different opportunities of the potential of the large language models to transform industries, to improve productivity and foster innovation. So creativity here will be a game changer. And we have to acknowledge, right, the ethical concerns and risks and things, and a lot of different things that we will have to be aware of, but I think it will happen on a daily basis. So yeah, I'm talking a lot about LLM in a deeper way, right? So, but I want to show a demonstration. This is something that I have working on, because I think it will make easier for everyone to envision the kind of change that we can face, right? So this is our one, right? Talkis should show me the code. Okay, but not so fast. Just one more thing. This is important. I'm sure that not everyone in here is technical. So before showing the demonstration, I have to say something about data itself, okay? And it's easy to understand, but I have to say. We have the traditional databases, right? The ones that we are used to. Those databases, they store data with predefined relationships between them, right? So this means that data is organized in tables with columns and rows. So SQL Server, MySQL, Postgres, and even some NoSQL databases, okay? And this is also known as well-structured data, right? So those kind of databases are really awesome when we need to be exact, right? So if you have to query something, if you have to search for something that you know exactly how it will answer or respond, this is the choice. But in the real world, we have, for example, conversations in WhatsApp. We have audio, we have images, we have files, right? Structures, documents. We have conversation, a lot of things that happens on daily basis, right? That are unstructured data. And this is for me where the magic happens, because until now, it was very hard for the companies to work with unstructured data. This is something that it's usually hard, right? So if you are talking about a search engine on any kind of application, it will be a challenge, right? And this is where we talk about a new kind of database that is called vector database. And vector database store data as high-dimensional vectors. So this is the mathematical representation of features. So this is the way that machine learning and artificial intelligence works. So we store data as numbers, right? And not as structured data as the other ones. And vector databases, they are really, really, really good to show similarities, right? So if you are talking about a search system and you have different kinds in here of, I forgot the name in English. we have the Havaianas, right? We have the Crocs, and here in Brazil we call Hider, for example. It's a sleeper, I think. So those are different things, but same things, right? It's hard to tell. Those are kind of similar data that is very hard to search inside a software. Okay, so let's go. Talk is cheap, show me the art, not the code. I will start with the architecture. Okay? I'm a software architect, so I have to show some drawing before the things and everything else. I have 10 more minutes, okay. So very fast, okay. Just to tell everyone, this is a very visual thing, but how it works a vector database. So we have in the left the user input. When the user input data as text, right, we convert that to a vector. A vector is a matrix of numbers, and this will be added to the database, and the database will search for those vectors. For example, here we have 2, 3, 1, 2, 5, 1, 0, and those. And based on similarity, it will give the results, okay? So this is a very important thing. It's based on similarity. And this will make everything understand the demonstration, okay? I know there is, it's technical, right? And this is the application that I have developed. So we have in here, it's quite simple, okay? Do not be afraid of this schema, let's say this way, but I will be brief in here and I will show the application, but this is what I call sticky note architectural diagram, or formerly the red paper, right? So in here, in the left, we have unstructured data. We have the chat conversation, right? And we have a large language model that I'm already using the large language model to structure a better question. So this is a thing that I am already doing on my application. And I am using that question to make a search on a vector store, a vector database, as I said before, to search for similarity inside something, some unstructured data. And that vector store will answer me with the similarity, right? And I will get that information, so I will understand where are those similarities. I will build another question, another conversation phase, and I will pass through the large language model again, and I will give an answer. And what is that data? Just a second. How I search for that data, right? So this is an important thing. Just a second. So this is how I put information in the database. I have a PDF document. And the first thing that I do, I transform that PDF document into a text. I split that text into a lot of smaller chunks, right, of text, and I created what we call embeddings. Embeddings is the vector representation of text, okay? So I do the transformation from text to vectors, and I store that in the database. So it's simple as that. It's not very complex, that's right. And so this, for example, I have everything created already in here, okay? Because it will take a little of time, not much, but just for the kind of the demonstration, I have created a vector database in here, and that has a specific dimension, right? So this is a matrix, and in our case, I have an amount of vectors in here that I have already loaded. So this part in here I have already loaded. This is a specific script that I can run if we have time, okay? And what I am doing in here, I need to find the document. Oh, it's here. So what is the unstructured data that I am feeding? Just a second, everyone, sorry for that. I have a dream. Let me share it with everyone. Okay. I'm lost with my screens. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, great. So I have a dream. Right? I'm a star. This is my dream. And this is unstructured data, right? So this is a car manual. We have a lot of information that, for sure, if I have the opportunity to get a Mustang, I will read. But we have a lot of unstructured data, as I said, right? So we have a document that is unstructured data. What I did, I got this document. I made this thing happen inside this document, right? And I have created an application that just let me run in here. We'll open. Okay, so that's called I'm Not Eleanor. Eleanor, for people who don't know, is the most coolest Mustang ever. And here I have a Shelby thing, right? And I want to make a question to this chatbot. And I will ask, for example, how many years this car had. And we'll see, hopefully, if everything goes well, that we have an answer like a human, right? It's saying that we have a 6-speed manual transmission with that, and I can find listed in the document under gear radius. And in here, I can see, for example, where this is on the document. So the document is the PDF, okay? And for example, I can say, what is the max velocity for the car? I have some bugs in here, okay? So React is not my main, front end is not my main thing. So, okay, you see, maximum velocity of the car with a 6-speed manual transmission and both 2.3 and 5 engines is fast, right? 270. And it will show me where it is on the document. If I go, for example, in here and copy that text, let me see if there is something that is, I have in here, for example, this text in here. If I go back to that and search in here, you see that I have a lot of different parts. So this is not a good search, right? So it's better to ask to him, but let me see, for example, this one. It's even not easy to find the document, right? We have a lot of information. I cannot see it. You see it here. So in here we have information regarding the max velocity. And this is exactly what we need when we are talking to that. So if I want, for example, can I clean the window with ammonia? Ammonia. It's a custom, something different to ask, right? But probably, okay, so no answer for that, okay? He's not sure. He didn't find anything on the document that has this relation. So yeah, this is the demonstration, right? How we can feed unstructured data into a vector database, right? And search that data using AI without any kind of, what I can say, fancy stack, right? So this is a simple React TypeScript application working, and it's not a huge application. It's something that is not very hard to accomplish. And at least for me, when I see this kind of thing, this blows my mind, okay? Because let's see, for example, an automotive company, right? We do not need, for example, the manual anymore to be able to search for things. And for me, this means a lot. This is just a small example of what we can do with LLMs and unstructured data, right? So it's very easy and fast. So this is why I think that things will happen fast. Let's see. Let's see. Let's be fine. Great, and that's it for today. I'm not sure if I'm on the screen.
Lucas,
Awesome.
we have one question here. Giovanni is asking if you can share the repo of this application.
Yeah, I can. I will publish on my GitHub. I just need to remove the API code. Can you remove your phone just for a second?
Oh yeah, sorry.
In here, I'm using OpenAI GPT-4 as large language model. I just need to hide those information. Okay, you will have to use that API, but for sure, I will share. And where I think that Lais can help me with that, just to share the information for sure.
Okay, thanks, Lucas.
Ronaldo is asking you to put it on AvenueCode's GitLab.
Great, I will.
Send the link. Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Lucas?
Can I ask you? I don't know if you're going to hear it, but I'm going to ask you. So you said the AI is not new, right? Like it's been on market for 30, 40 years, right? The AI. So, you know, like why is ChatGPT or GPT-3.4 like just available now? Like, didn't we have any science breakthrough or math breakthrough that allow us to actually get this today?
Yeah,
not something fast.
Yeah, we had it's really the transformer. As I said, so for this, I will go back.
Lucas, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry for that, people. Sorry. I will go back. Yeah. So he will. Everyone listen to him to his question, just to be sure.
Well, it was hard to listen. Maybe if you can repeat.
Okay. So he was asking on as we have, for example, AI for 50 years already. Why this just released it now? Why we see so much happening in the last year, for example, right? And I was explaining that this is related to the transformer model. So the transformer model was created 5 years ago only, and this is related to how the models are trained, not only that, but regarding compute power, right? So in this way, we can transformer model can train data on parallel way, and we couldn't do that with the other models. So if you have, for example, to train thousands of petabytes, it will take years, and transformer models could do that much faster. So this is why we are seeing things happening much more faster from the last 40 years to 2070. Okay.
And I have one question.
Yes.
Can you tell us how this GPT model used to work, how this training is made?
Oh, the entire architecture?
Yeah.
I'll need a reference. I think it will be easier because I'm not a machine learning specialist. Let's see together. This is in fact, what I think I can answer, it's not the GPT architecture, it's the transformer model, okay? Let me try to find one simple, and we can try to discuss. So this is a common thing that happens to architects, okay? We do not have all the answers all the time, and it's not a problem to Google it. Okay, so we have, so for example, we have the supervised policy model. This is related to, in the transformer part, we say that we have tokenization and other things, right? We have the supervised learning and the unsupervised learning. So we have the flow of the data going forward. Let's see, the different outputs, it's not very clear in here, right? Lucas, I really think that it will be better to go deeper in this after the meeting, okay? But I think it will not hard to find those kind of information on the internet. Okay, so I have in here, for example, different views of this architecture, but I think it will be too much technical for the people that are in here. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong. Yeah, so Ronaldo is saying that we can talk about that on Lunch and Learn. Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it together.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah.
Just as a follow-up, right? When you said that the revolution, just let me check.
Okay.
You said the revolution massive, right? Like once we get here to be able to do things out here and all that, what's missing from the like in the knowledge about that? What's the breakthrough?
Okay. Okay, so he is asking me that I say I think it will be massive, and why it's not happening yet. I think that there are more than one thing. Okay, one is that it's still near. It's still new, right? So we saw GPT-4 release on March. I think it's been 1 month from March, and there are a lot of things happening, right? I have a site. I do not remember the name. I will share it with everyone as well. But where we see the last, a lot of different projects and products that are being released, and there are a lot of things happening in this industry. Let's say it this way. So I think it will happen. There are some things related to, for example, costs. So Lucas told before, this is a thing that we will still have to understand how to find balance on costs because it is expensive. So, for example, OpenAI API, it's very expensive, and probably this kind of thing will delay a little. But I think it's because it's really new. If you think about GPT and the adoption and the possibility to integrate your application with this kind of thing, in fact, we have already a lot of companies working on that. We have, in 3 months, we have Google, we have Facebook, we have, if you see, for example, we have a beta thing running on OpenAI that they call the plugin marketplace, that it will be released soon. Inside the plugin marketplace, it's closed. We have, I think, 100 companies that are already working on that, and they are big companies. So I think it will happen. It will be fast, but not from one day to another, right? But I think it will be much faster than, for example, object-oriented programming, for example. It's something that took 2 decades to go forward, right? And I think it will happen faster than this. But it's just my opinion, okay?
Well, we have 5 minutes left, and anyone have any other question? No. So, okay. Once again,
What's
guys,
your
thank
opinion
you so
on
much
how-
for being here. Don't forget to make your check-in.
Can I proceed?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on how this is being handled? Because we're talking about ChatGPT, but it's not an open source product. It's owned by not so open and I, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what you agree that it would be more democratic if you have an open source version of it? Because right now it's just basically OpenAI is what people are saying. It's basically become a Microsoft shop, basically.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is a very expensive technology. They are the only ones who can provide access who they want, right? And also, we don't have access to the data which is being trained, which is very important to understand what will be the outcome of the answers, right? If I don't know how it's being trained, how are we going to know we are giving trust in the outputs?
Yeah, I agree with you. So this is one concern, right? So who owns the data owns the answers, right? And this is something to worry. In my opinion, I think that a lot still need to happen, right? Because if someone's on the data, for sure they will be, not for sure, but probably they will be biased, right, on the way that they want to answer. But I think parallel on that, there are already another kind of projects that are trying to make data a clear thing, like blockchain, for example. So I think that on the future, we can see blockchain-related things joining AI things. And here, this is on my mind, okay? And I'm not, because I really think that it's hard when we are talking about data. Usually that data comes from somewhere, and usually someone on the data. And this is a potential problem for us, right? So it's creepy, yeah. It's hard to deal with that. But there are, for example, Roberta. It's the large language model that I showed before that is trained on open source data. So we'll see a lot of different initiatives regarding that, but I'm not sure if it will be one large language model that will rule them all, let's say this way, right? So I think that we will see, for example, in healthcare, we'll see a data store that will be the source of truth, for example, right? And the same for other industries. And this is a topic that it will have a lot of discussion, right? But no answer for that. This, I think, yeah, OpenAI has all the data until now. It's the only one that we really see the people talking about, right? But we will have BERT, for example, Google on the data. We will have Copilot already, right? And it's a more technical thing, but Git owns the data, and yeah, it will be a challenge. But I really think that sometime we'll have the source of truth. I'm not sure where it will be, if it will be, for example, based on votes or some kind of consensus like blockchain. But I really think that the communities, let's say this way, will find a way to gain confidence on that.